Hi everyone, we are continuing with the stem cell chapter. When we discussed about the stem cells, I told you that stem cells, it will be maintaining the stem cell nature by undergoing a type of cell division. The cell division is known as the asymmetric cell division. Or if you remember that, or if you don't remember, please take the notebook and go through the topic what I have discussed in the previous class. Okay, one of the property of the stem cell is it can undergo asymmetric cell division. Most of the cells which are there in the body, they will be undergoing a type of cell division known as the symmetric cell division. Okay, so the cells which are there in the body, they will be undergoing a division known as the symmetric cell division, which is called as SCD. Whereas in the case of stem cell, they will be undergoing a type of cell division which is called as the asymmetric cell division. Okay, two types of cell division can happen, SCD and ACD. Now we are going to talk about the asymmetric cell division that happens only in the case of stem cells. Okay, all the embryonic stem cell also, some of the embryonic cells also, they will undergo asymmetric cell division to maintain the stem cell nature. Okay, remember that all the stem cells will be undergoing asymmetric cell division. And if you remember, when I was discussing about the stem cell, I told you that wherever stem cells are located, that particular area where the stem cells are located, that is known as the stem cell niche. You remember that? The area where the stem cells are located, that area is known as the stem cell niche. One example is your bone marrow. In the bone marrow, there are stem cells, and along with the stem cell, you can see some of the other cells which are called as the nerve cells. They will be providing the factors which are necessary for the differentiation of the stem cell. Okay, the stem cell nature of the stem cell or the long life of the stem cell is maintained with the help of the nerve cells which are there in the bone marrow or wherever the stem cells are located. Okay, so the area is known as the stem cell niche. Now we are going to talk about the asymmetric cell division that happens in the case of stem cells. So when we talk about the asymmetric cell division, you have to remember one thing. By the symmetric cell division, what will happen in most of the normal cells, what exactly is happening is the cell will enter into the cell division process and it equally divide. Okay, the cell will undergo equally, it will divide, and two daughter cells will be formed in the case of symmetric cell division. But what happens in the case of asymmetric cell division? So asymmetric cell division also produces two daughter cells, okay, but with two different fates. In the case of symmetric cell division, two daughter cells will be formed which will have the same fate, or it will have the same component, and the fate of the cell will be the same. Whereas in the case of asymmetric cell division, the cells will undergo cell division and two daughter cells will be formed, and both the cells will have different fate. Why it is happening? Why the fate of these daughter cells are different? Because during the cell division, there are many processes that will be happening in the case of stem cell to maintain the stem cell nature. One copy of the original cell, when it divide, you cannot call both the cells as daughter cell. You have to call one of the cell as the stem cell and the other one as the daughter cells. Okay, now cell asymmetry, it is similar to that of cell polarity. Okay, cell polarity is the ability of the cell to organize their internal structure, resulting in the charge of cell shape and the cells with different proteins and lipid composition. So cell polarity and the asymmetric cell division is similar. In the case of cell polarity, you can see that the cell will have different amount of protein and lipid component in two different types of cells. That is known as the cell polarity. Similar process can be seen in the case of asymmetric cell division also. Now what exactly happens, the steps involved in this asymmetric cell division are, this is the stem cell. Okay, whenever you are mentioning the stem cell, when you are drawing the stem cell, you have to make an arrow like this. That means it can undergo a process called as the self-renewal. This arrow indicates that the cells can undergo a process called as the self-renewal. Now we are going to see how that self-renewal nature will be maintained. Self-renewal in the sense the cell will have the ability to retain its nature. The stem cell nature can be retained because of the self-renewal property. The self-renewal property is completely dependent on the asymmetric cell division, which is called as the ACD. As I told you earlier, the stem cell niche. What is stem cell niche? The area where the stem cells are located is called as the stem cell niche. The cells which are there in the stem cell niche will secrete some of the factors which will activate the cell division process to happen. that is called as the stem cell cues. Okay, you must have heard about the stem cell cues in some of the other chapters. So whenever the stem cell has to undergo cell division, the neighboring cells will release some of the factors. Those factors are called as the cues, C-U-E-S. So cues are the factors which are released by the neighboring cells. So whenever the cues are released by the neighboring cells, the stem cells will get the signal. Okay, they will enter into the cell division process. The cues can be soluble factors or a signal from other cells. Okay, or the signal which will be released into the extracellular matrix. Okay, so these are the different types of cues. It can be soluble factor, or it can be a signal, directly a ligand molecule, or the proteins which are released into the extracellular matrix. Now, the cell which is receiving the cue or receiving that particular factor which is released by the neighboring cell. For your understanding, I will make a cell here. These are the cells which are there in the stem cell niche. They are not stem cell, but they are needed for the maintenance of the stem cell. They will be releasing some of the factor. These factors are called as the cues. Whenever the cues are released, the stem cell, it has receptors for the cues. So cues will bind to the receptor. Okay, so that is the first process that happens here. The cues released by the nerve cells will bind to the receptors which are present on the stem cell. That process is called as the cue sensing. Cue sensing. Cue sensing is the process wherein the signal is received by the cells. How the signal is received? By binding to receptors which are present on the membrane of the stem cell. Once after the receiving or receival of this particular cues, a signal transduction happens. Because of the cell signal transduction, cytoskeleton rearrangement will be happening in the cell, and due to the cytoskeleton rearrangement, the asymmetric cell division starts. Now what happens in the asymmetric cell division is the cell will have a polarity. The polarity is mediated by 3 different complexes. Okay, so I have written here 3 different complexes will maintain the cell polarity. One is known as the PAR complex, second one is known as Scribble, and the third one is known as the crumb. These are all different types of proteins which are there in the stem cells. What are those complexes? PAR complex, Scribble complex, and the crumb complex. These 3 complex, along with the GTPase enzyme, they will activate the asymmetric nature of the cells. Okay, these complexes with the signaling molecule called as the GTPase regulate the vesicle transport. Okay, so what do you mean by vesicle transport? Now you can see here in the first step, if you see this, throughout the cell different types of proteins are uniformly spread. But once it receives the cues, what happens in this diagram? What difference you can see this and this? Most of the proteins are aggregated towards one side. Okay. This aggregation is mediated by the movement of the protein towards one side is mediated by the proteins which are there in the stem cell. Once after receiving the signal, the 3 different complexes, PAR complex, Scribble, and the crumb complex will activate the cell polarity, wherein most of the proteins will move towards one side of the cell. Okay, so now this particular process is done along with the GTPase. So through vesicles, all these proteins will locate towards one side of the cell. Clear till this step? I think all of you are clear with that. Now, once after the localization, okay, now what exactly happens in the next step that I have written here? Okay, mitotic spindle orientation happens, which will be perpendicular to the cues. So from wherever the cues are received, perpendicular to the cue, mitotic spindle arrangement happens. Thereby the mitosis process will be activated. Okay, now the proteins are localized by, how does this proteins will be localized to one region? That is because of the phosphorylation of the phospholipid. So one of the phospholipid which is present on the membrane will get phosphorylated. So what is that protein phospholipid which is present on the membrane? I have written there phosphoinositide. Phosphoinositide is a type of phospholipid which is present on the membrane. Okay, those proteins, those phospholipids will get phosphorylated. What do you mean by phosphorylation? Phospholipid which is present on the membrane will get a phosphate moiety. Addition of phosphate will happen, and once after the addition of the phosphate, this particular phospholipid will act as a docking site for protein. What do you mean by docking site? Docking site is the region where the proteins will come and bind. Okay, so these are the phospholipid. Phospholipid will get a phosphate group. Once after addition of the phosphate group, the phospholipid which is present on the membrane will act as a docking site for the proteins which are there in the cytoplasm. So the proteins will move and it binds there and aggregates there. So you can see here all the proteins are aggregated towards one side, and then the cell undergoes division, and you can see here one of the cell will have so much of protein when compared to the other cell. So this is the stem cell and the other one is the daughter cell. Clear about the asymmetry solution is very important. Okay, so when you are writing about the stem cell, you need to mention about the asymmetric cell division. How does it happen? In the asymmetric cell division, the actual cell, the asymmetric cell division is activated by the cells which are there in the stem cell niche. Those are called as the nerve cells. They will be releasing the factors which are called as the cues. The cue will be received by the stem cell because stem cell it has the receptor. Cues will bind to the receptor and activate the signaling process. How the signaling process will be activated? 3 proteins are getting activated: PAR, Scribble and the CRUMP. All the 3 proteins gets activated with the help of GTPase enzyme. They will activate the cell polarity process. Okay. Now after that the mitotic spindle orient perpendicular to the cues. Okay. The mitosis process activates and the proteins will be segregated towards one side because of this particular signaling mechanism. That is the mechanism behind that particular process is phosphorylation of the phospholipid. Which phospholipid? Phosphoinositide. Phosphoinositide which is there on the membrane will get phosphorylated, and the phosphorylated phospholipid will act as a docking site for the cytoplasmic protein. All the proteins will aggregate and bind to the phospholipid, and once after the binding, the mitosis process gets activated. The cell will undergo division, and 2 cells will be found. One will have most of the proteins which are needed for maintaining the stem cell nature. The other one will have less amount of protein. So whichever has less amount of protein, they are called as the daughter cell. The other one which will have all the factors which are needed for maintaining the stem cell nature, that will be the stem cell. Clear? Now the next topic what we are going to discuss is stem cell pluripotency, which is maintained by the stem cell. So one of the major factor about the stem cell is stem cell it has asymmetric, it will undergo self-renewal process because of the asymmetric cell division. Now we are going to see how the stem cells will maintain the pluripotency, so how the stem cells will differentiate into various types of cells. Okay, so that's actually a wonderful mechanism, or you'll be wondering if you have read the topic properly, you will have that particular doubt how one cell will divide into various type of cells. So that is because of a signaling pathway which is called as the WNT signaling pathway. So this is a very important topic. You must have studied this WNT signaling pathway in developmental genetics, any of the developmental process also. I think this particular pathway is there, but whatever pathway I am talking, I am going to discuss now, that is the pathway that happens in the stem cells. Now WNT, it's a glycoprotein. Okay, so this particular protein, WNT protein, can activate a signaling process. The signaling process will happen because WNT has a binding site on the cell membrane. So this is the stem cell membrane. It has 2 receptors. One is known as the LRP, another one is known as the FZ. Okay, FZ, or some of the books it will be written as FRZ. FRZ or FZ, that stands for frizzled receptor. You can see that the structure of the receptor FRZ, it is similar to that of your GPCR. You remember in first semester cell biology, you would have studied about the cell signaling mechanism. There receptor is there which is called as the GPCR. What is GPCR? G protein coupled receptor, which will span the plasma membrane 7 times. So frizzled receptor is also like that. It is similar to that of G protein coupled receptor. Okay, so the frizzled receptor, you can consider it as a G protein receptor. So that is one of the receptor. Another receptor which is present on the membrane of the stem cell is called as the LRP receptor. So what are the 2 receptors? One is called as the LRP receptor, another one is known as the frizzled receptor. Now what is LRP? LRP stands for lipoprotein receptor related protein. Lipoprotein, L stands for lipoprotein, receptor related protein. LRP. So two receptors, FRZ and the LRP. Frizzled receptor and the LRP receptor. Now, this whenever WND is there, it's a glycoprotein which will activate the pluripotency nature. Whenever the cell has to undergo a pluripotent nature, pluripotency, when it has to be activated, during that time WND will be released. Now this WND will bind to the receptors which are present on the membrane of the stem cell. What are those receptors? FRZ or frizzled receptor. Another one is the LRP. Once it binds there, the LRP gets phosphorylated. You would have studied all these things in the cell signaling pathway. So whenever a ligand binds to the receptor, some of the enzymes which are, some of the amino acids which are there in the cytoplasmic tail of the receptor, so which are all the receptors which are involved in the cell signaling, it will have three regions: extracellular domain, transmembrane domain and the cytoplasmic domain. So whenever the ligand binds to the receptor, the cytoplasmic tail will get phosphorylated. So the phosphorylation is the, you can say that phosphorylation is the initiation, or that is the one which will initiate the cell signaling process. Clear? Now phosphorylated site, the LRP get phosphorylated. Phosphorylated site will act as a binding site for one of the protein called as the axin. Okay, this axin is there in the stem cell. They will bind. So they are all freely in the moving in the cytoplasm. This protein will bind to the phosphorylated. For the phosphorylation, what is required? WND has to bind to the LRP. Once after the binding, you can see here, this is a G protein coupled receptor. So it will activate the binding of G protein. A G protein binds there, and also one more protein will bind, which is called as the DSH protein. Okay, DSH protein is, DSH stands for dishevelled. Okay, dishevelled protein. Now this dishevelled protein that was first observed in the Drosophila, where mutation in this dishevelled gene causes improper orientation of the body. Okay, in the Drosophila, improper arrangement of the body is because of a mutation in one of the protein which is called as the DSH. DSH stands for the dishevelled. Dishevelled means unorganized. Okay, so DSH stands for dishevelled. What do you mean by dishevelled? Unorganized, something which is unorganized. Why they have named it as dishevelled? Whenever a mutation is there in the dishevelled protein of Drosophila, Drosophila will have a the orientation of the Drosophila, or the structure of the Drosophila will be little different. That is why they named it as dishevelled protein. Now the phosphorylated site axin will bind, and once after the active binding, G protein binds there, and also dishevelled protein bind there. So because of the formation of this particular complex, beta-catenin, which is there in the stem cell, that will be activated, or they don't have any inhibitor. Beta-catenin easily it can activate the gene expression. So once, because of all these binding, one of the kinase enzyme which is there, which is called as the GSK kinase, this kinase enzyme will activate the beta-catenin, thereby beta-catenin enter into the nucleus of the stem cell. Once after entering into the nucleus, they will activate the gene expression process. Okay, so WND will activate the signaling pathway. The outcome of the signaling pathway is activation of beta-catenin. Beta-catenin enter into the nucleus through the nuclear pore complex. Gene expression happens, which will activate the expression of three genes: OCT4, NANOG and SOX9. So these are the three genes which are needed for the maintaining the pluripotency. So whenever these genes are activated, the cell will get the signal, thereby the cell can differentiate into appropriate cell. So for the differentiation of a particular stem cell into a particular cell, they need the activation of three genes. What are those three genes? OCT4, NANOG and SOX9. Now, what happens when WND is not there? When there is no WND, you can see there WND is not binding, LRP is free, frizzled receptor is also free, WND is not binding. Now, whenever WND is not binding, all the proteins which are there in the cytoplasm, what are those proteins? Dishevelled protein, axin, then CK, that's a kinase enzyme, GSK, another kinase enzyme, they all will form a complex along with the beta-catenin. The entire complex is called as the destruction complex. Once the destruction complex is formed, this destruction complex will get associated with the beta-catenin. Here you can see here, when WND binds there, all the proteins will move to the cell membrane, bind there, thereby it cannot form a complex with beta-catenin. Now WND is not there, the receptors are free, the proteins which are there in the cytoplasm is also free, they will bind to the beta-catenin and forms a complex. What is that complex called as? Destruction complex or the DC. Once the DC is formed, the beta-catenin will get ubiquitinized. Have you heard of ubiquitinization? Whenever the protein has to undergo degradation in the proteasome complex which is there in the cytoplasm, it need a signal or it need a particular addition of a particular moiety, that is known as the ubiquitin. Ubiquitin will be added to the protein which has to enter for the cell destruction process. So once this complex binds to the beta-catenin, ubiquitinization happens, ubiquitin moieties will be added to the beta-catenin, thereby beta-catenin will enter into the degradation. Where it will enter? Into the proteasome complex it enters and degradation happens. So whenever the cell has to enter into the pluripotency nature, WND will be released, WND bind to the receptor, all this cytoplasmic protein will accumulate towards the plasma membrane, thereby beta-catenin is free, it enters into the nucleus, act as a transcription factor, activate the gene expression of 3 genes. 3 proteins will be synthesized. The outcome of the gene expression is the proteins. Protein from OCT4, NanoG and SOX9 gene, which will activate the pluripotency nature. Whereas when WND is not there, receptors are free. When the receptors are free, no phosphorylation on the receptor, thereby all the cytoplasmic protein will bind to the beta-catenin. Once the protein, all the cytoplasmic protein bind to the beta-catenin, ubiquitinization happens, addition of ubiquitin moieties to the beta-catenin, that will act as a signal, thereby beta-catenin enter into the proteasome complex for the degradation. Okay, I think all of you are clear with the pathway. These are the 2 things which was left in the stem cell nature. Whenever you are writing about the stem cell, you have to write how the cell will undergo asymmetric cell division, and also you need to write about the stem cell pluripotency. So whenever you are writing in the examination, if they ask about the properties of the stem cell, you need to write what are different types of stem cell, what are the different properties of stem cell, and if it is asked for 8 marks, you need to write about 8 or 12 marks if you need to write in detail about the mechanism behind asymmetric cell division and also the mechanism behind the pluripotency maintenance. Clear? Any doubts you can ask me. Okay, until next class, thank you so much. Take care.